Oh my gosh. Good morning, everyone. It's Willow Wise Woman, intuitive psychic and empath. Gotta turn this around for a second. Oh my gosh, look at the geese. Oh gosh, so pretty. Anyway, okay, so I'm coming live. Not that Facebook works anymore, but so I've got some response for my Crone Chronicles, and so this is just kind of like the sneak peek of the recordings that I will do. I haven't decided if I'm going to do those live so that they can be interactive. I think what I'm going to do is start them through YouTube first and build a community from that. Anyway, so I wanted to take you all on the walk back down memory lane of where it all started. So what are the Crone Chronicles? Well, it's kind of my journey for the past almost 30 years and how I started out on my path, not only spiritually but emotionally. And so this little sneak peek will kind of show you, which is really challenging. I think I'm at the local park here. Oh gosh, and they've changed it all, right? So half the time I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Oh yeah, all right. So anyway, squirrel, let me know if I'm making you dizzy, because normally I don't walk and do a live. But it's such a beautiful day, and it is, it's almost, God, what is this? We're in November, and it's like 60-something degrees out, and as much as I would love to do more, I can't. So, anyway, I've got 1,000 things to do. I don't even know what time it is. It's a little after. I think it's like 1 o'clock. Yeah, I've been going nonstop. Anyway, so I'm walking you to where it all began. So, chocolate lab. Or was it a black lab? Black lab. Anywho, so I just want to take you back to where it all began. So I'll wait till these people walk past, because otherwise they look like I'm talking to myself, right? So I'm going to turn the camera around. People are so nosy. Go away. Anyway, see that? This is the lagoon. So for those of you who know, you know, right? And almost 30 years ago, there was a beautiful willow tree right there. And I cried the day they took it down. And had I known they were going to destroy my beautiful willow tree, I would have made sure to come and take pictures of her. It still makes me so sad. I did a lot of healing here. I'm a little emotional about it. Wow. Anyway, I don't come here much anymore. I was so heartbroken when they took it down. And of course, back then, I didn't, this was, we didn't have the social media that we have today, for one. And number two, I really just never watched the news. I didn't watch television a lot. So I literally was driving past here and it was gone, and I lost my shit. Like, I had to pull off, and I was freaking out. So that's when they started to rebuild this conservative thing, conservatory. And they took down my beautiful willow tree. But in that section there is where it all began. And I was 27 years old, and really going out of my mind, to be honest with you. And I just needed an escape. So one day I came here and I crawled underneath. You used to could walk over there with a little bit of effort. And so I would walk around the lagoon and I would crawl underneath that willow tree that was there. And I just hid there. And that's where it all began, the spiritual journey. And a few years later, I'll flip the mirror, or the mirror. A few years later, at this end of the lagoon, there used to be, before all this was built up, you used to could walk right into the lagoon. Like just literally walk right into it. And there was like a bench right around this section here. And then you could walk around and climb over there to where I showed you, where it's all bare. And you could hide underneath that willow tree that used to be there. And this is where my husband proposed. And that's even different now. And then the Crone Chronicles is about, like I said, it's about healing or healing the last wound or any wounds. It's also about, oh, there goes my finger. Hello. Healing our wounds, and then, you know, who we become, right? I'm at a Crone. I'm officially a Crone. So I know fucking care club, right? Whatever. And then it'll be 2 years. This park or it's a conservatory now, but it was since Mississippi. This path and the lagoon that I loved so much. Also has a memorial stone for our grandson, who we lost 2 years ago. So it's sometimes it's hard to come here. Like, you know, I started this journey healing under that willow tree, and they took that, and they took our beautiful bench, and my husband proposed to me. And now we have Liam's memorial stone is here. There's a couple. We have another one. They have another one at a little park. Anyway, I find it pretty profound that the very place that my life changed and began really, truly, really kind of really began with purpose. You know, all these things are here. The willow tree, my husband proposing, and our grandson who we lost. It'll be 2 years in December. And I'm trying to look for his little plaque, but I know it's right here. It's just sometimes it's like hard to see just because it's so many, and it's a little overwhelming. I know I'm probably looking right at it, right? Anyway, I did not expect to get so emotional. But anyway, so to top it all off, it's really hard sometimes to, there it is. I knew, jeez. There you are. Anyway, I know right where it's at because it's literally right in alignment where, you know, life began for me. So anyway, so I wanted to start the Crone Chronicles. It's just gonna kind of tell people my life and like how I started and where I'm going and how did I gain all this wisdom, right? Underneath that willow tree, I started, you know, praying and talking to the mother willow, and I would listen and I would journal, and before you know it, I was being guided by that said willow tree, hence Willow. Willow was born back then, back in, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s. So that willow tree saved my life. And then I met the love of my life, and he knew the story and that willow tree. And so he took me out here and proposed to me. And that was 20 years ago almost. Well, let's see, 21 years. So I we'll be married 20, oh gosh. So maybe it was like 22, 23 years ago, something like that. I think he proposed about a year after we started dating. And we'll be married 20 years this April. So anyway, if you're wondering how, oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, hi, Emily. I'm just now seeing remarks. Hi, Michelle. Yes, please, definitely watch on the replay, Michelle. I love you too, Em. So anyway, it's a little emotional. The Crone Chronicles. God, get your shit together, Julie. Hello. So this is where it all started, and this is where the healing began, and the change, like the massive change, like listening to my intuition, tapping into my empathic abilities, learning to listen to God, Spirit, Universe, you know. It started right here. And now I feel like I've turned another chapter, right? So here's the interesting thing. I was right around, not quite, but close to my Saturn return when all of this was happening, right? So between the ages of 26 and 29 or so is really when life started getting crazy for me. And by the time I was, it was like 99, 2000 is when I really knew that I was going to have to change my life. And it would take me another year or so to really act on it. But by then I had started, researching and trying to figure out like, what is this spiritual stuff and why do I feel this way and how come I know things that I'm not supposed to know. And so I spent a couple of years in parks and meditation and just trying to find all kinds of stuff, right? And the library was built right on these grounds. The Akashic Records, I tapped into them here. And now I'm at a Crone stage, and so why am I so emotional? I think it's because there's another chapter coming. Now I have to take the last, 25 years and change and share it with people. And I've done that professionally for about 8 years now. But it's just profound for me because it is a changing of the guard. Like I'm moving out of the mother stage and into the crone stage. And with that comes, the wisdom of patience, and the wisdom of forgiveness and letting go of some of the things that I've held on to for far too many years. So I've just kind of identified for myself, like there's just that one thing that I still have to let go of. I've spent my whole life, I came into this life with this one original wound. And I've worked at it and I've ebbed and flowed with it, but now it's just time to let it the fuck go. So, hence the Crone Chronicles. It's about whether you have one or multiple wounds to work through and how it is such layered work. I'm 25 plus years in and I still have wounds that I have to heal. And they ebb and flow and they come and go and then they morph and they change. And eventually you get to a point where you're like, oh, I think this is the last wound. And for me, my biggest challenge most of my life has been the outer shell. Okay? My appearance. I came into this world with that wound. And if I didn't, I came into it pretty young, right? Just through conditioning. So, societal conditioning. So, I can look at my outer shell and say, oh, I'm pretty. I like who I look like. I'm okay with myself. I feel pretty or this or that. But then I really critique that my skin isn't perfect or my hair isn't perfect or my body isn't the perfect shape that I envisioned it to be. And so I'm ready to kind of let that go. And just love myself and try to do things a little differently. So for years and years, I've always done the same thing, trying to fix the outer shell. I've tried to convince myself that the only way to do this is through an A, B, C, or D kind of scenario. And I've decided to throw that playbook right out the window and say, fuck it, I'm not doing that. I want to be happy and content. And I'm so sensitive and psychically in tune. And sometimes, I've always said I am a social person, right? I've always said, oh, I'm a social butterfly. I've always been a people person, a people pleaser. Guess what? I don't have to listen to that anymore. I don't have to be a people person. I don't have to be happy-go-lucky. And I don't have to be around all these people, people, places, and things. Because if I'm not going to be skinny. If I don't go to the gym, I'm going to be fat. If I don't do this certain extreme diet, I'm going to be fat. Bullshit. I'm throwing it right out the window. So, part of the Crone Chronicles is me breaking away from a very old wound that repeats itself. So, this is your sneak peek of the Crone Chronicles. I'm using like this full moon energy to really just kind of try to integrate, like, how do I want it to look? Do you want it to be a live interaction like this? Do you want it to be through my YouTube page where then I can just like have a private community so it can be individually given to you? And then I'm just not sure how you want this done. So, put your comments and ideas in those in the live, and then of course people won't be able to see it maybe for a couple of days before I'll make a decision. But I just thought, as a teaser, maybe I should tell you guys where it all began. God, it makes me so emotional. Maybe because I'm turning a page. I don't know why I'm so emotional about it, but I really wish that I could have that willow tree to crawl under and hide. She made everything better. So, anyway, holy shit. It's really, I think, all I have for now. Yeah, those Crone Chronicles will really be about my journey, how I got here, what I'm doing to break the cycle of the last original core wound I came in here with. Having the freedom to say, I don't have to please anybody anymore, right? I don't have to know everything anymore. I don't have to be perfect anymore. Okay, hold on. I gotta get a piece of tissue because I had just a blubbering idiot. Oh, Lord, baby Jesus. Anyway, I really miss coming here, and maybe that will be part of this journey, is like coming here, because once they took down my willow tree, I just stopped coming. I was so angry that it was gone. But you know what? This place has a memory, so I think I kind of have to go back, full circle, right? I have to go full circle here. I have to come back and really, I have to, just kind of reclaim the space. I've always thought, I'll find another willow tree. I've just never had the heart to find one yet. Mother Willow, she was that one. She would, that her energy was what I connected to. And I think about it, and it's just like yesterday, I was out here in my 20s, and God, if I would have just paid attention. I mean, I was in my 20s and I didn't have a clue, and I was scared shitless. Absolutely terrified and scared out of my mind. Like, how was I going to do all these things I knew I needed to do? Like, I had to close a business. I had to get a divorce. I had to manage trying to figure out how I was going to make it with 3 kids in tow. And, I didn't have any education, and how in the hell was I going to make it, right? How was I going to do this? And these grounds saved my sanity, and I came here scared to death, going, oh my God, people must think I'm crazy. The word psychic freaked me out. Like, I spent almost 20 years not even using the word because it just freaked me out. I did not like the word psychic. And it took me several years to kind of build up my library, but the library was built here in this park under that wonderful willow tree, listening to the ducks on the lagoon, and everything wonderful that's ever happened to me happened here. So for those that are going through a transformation, that are scared that like, how am I going to be able to do this on my own, right? Or how, trust me, I've been there. I was a young mother of 3, and I knew that I was never going to have any help. And I didn't have any family members or anything that like I could talk to about this kind of stuff. And you got to figure, this was in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, it was a different kind of time. And although this was definitely a lineage thing, I do come by it, you know, through the bloodline as well. It was not talked about. It was very taboo. And, you know, you're not alone. Like, it's a lonely road, and it's a wonderful road, and it's a scary road, and it's a discovery and a self-discovery. But if I can do it, anybody can do it. If I can come from the background that I came from, and all the wounds that I had to, you know, come through, you can too. Trust me. I was taught by God, by universe, by the willow tree. I learned to listen and be still and know that I am God, and know that God is through everything and anything. And if we will just stop and listen, we can get guidance. And that's where I started, underneath a willow tree with a notepad and journaling. And slowly but surely, I learned to love myself and trust myself, and create a life that I never thought I'd have, you know. And I've had a lot of challenges, but I've had more wonderful things than painful things. And, you know, this coming into this year, you know, my goal through this, you know, this Crone Chronicles is to heal that last original wound that I came in, and let go of some things that I, you know, have a hard time letting go of. It's, I think, maybe the last leg of forgiveness. You don't sometimes want to forgive the things that happen because you're afraid that if you do, that they might happen again. So it's some facing some fears and letting go of some things, and also letting go of some things that, you know, I constrict myself on. So tell me your topics, tell me your story, tell me what you want to talk about. And this is the Crone Chronicles in the making. And once I get it all figured out, hopefully in the next, you know, week or two, it'll be slowly but surely. I'll update you. And yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to play out. So until then, thank you for watching, and blessed be.